No, you can't have the admin password. And no, your boss isn't going to overrule me, by username DJI. Small one for you today. Been working at an MSP that services a few small clients. We got one who has a special user, we'll call Bob. Bob is an older gentleman, thinks he knows everything. The client can't afford to fire Bob regardless of what he screws up, because any screw up is a drop in the ocean to the amount of profit he earns the client. I'm at the client's site for a routine checkup on their equipment. Client's explicit instructions, as well as our policy, is not to share admin passwords with client staff, including Bob. Bob comes up to me and asks, I can't get Adobe to work right, referring to Acrobat. Me, I can probably fix it, what seems to be the problem? Bob, I just want to install this tool instead, takes me to some shady site. Me, sorry, I'd have to review the application before I install it. Bob, okay. Well, I have another issue, whenever I try to do something on the server it asks for an admin password. Me, show me. Bob proceeds to go to the server share folder, browse to an installer for the application I just told him not to use, and then quickly opens it before I can get a good look at it. Bob, see? Can you give me the admin password? I need this daily. Me, sorry, I can't do that. Let me see why you need the password. I close the UAC prompt to see the application was the same one I'd just told him no. Bob gets furious and threatens to tell the client to cancel our contract. Problem is, our contract explicitly protects me from this kind of shit. Naturally, the client tells Bob to deal with it, and I go about my day. Bob still uses Adobe Acrobat. 2 weeks without destroying company property, NVM, by Userbuchenberger 2022. Yeah, so we have been 2 weeks in the IT department without needing to use the hard reset hammer. We were in the middle of celebrating it, when we got an angry Teams call from a staff member dealing with a giant industrial office printer of all things. I took a unit of 3, not including myself, and brought the crash card up to accounting. This printer had to weigh around 300 empty. It had all sorts of annoying features and was who knows how old. If I remember correctly, it had 2 reserve paper stacks it could draw from, could staple, 3-hole punch, scan large amounts of paper, and could email the whole thing to your office. And it had a bad history with IT. It started with the 70 billionth paper jam in the most inconvenient spots imaginable. The unreasonably sharp plastic didn't help my colleagues' hands either. We put it back together, and we got a software error. We followed the manual that came with the beast, and turned it off and on again. Now there was a jam somewhere else. We disassembled the machine all the way to the location of the jam, and there was nothing there. Everything rolled freely, the sensor appeared to work, and we put it back together. Paper jam in a different place. This continued for a grand total of 12 paper jams that didn't exist before the whole thing looped around again. Somewhere during that time we lost a small screw in one of the gear sets. Fishing that out took a while, and one of my co-workers sliced the crap out of his thumb. He only left when one of the accountants nearly fainted at the sight of it. More software errors, and an electrified screw later, we had it reassembled. General error, call this number. Called the number. Out of warranty. Person on the phone won't send anyone, and can't help us fix it. Throughout that whole ordeal, the accounting department had become a powder keg, and we were reaching 4 p.m. on a Friday. Everyone needed to either print or scan something now. Suddenly one of my colleagues puts his foot through one of the plastic panels in frustration. This gave me the idea of a lifetime. I got up, dusted the toner off myself, and gave my boss a call. I explained the situation, and expressed the urgency of this needing to be resolved tonight. We went back and forth for a few minutes while the last 2 technicians chased errors, when it hit me. I asked if we had any mini all-in-one office printers left in storage. We did. I told him to mark the ticket as resolved, and I hung up. I turned to the infuriated office workers who were starting to shift the blame to us for being unable to help. I told them that they will be given a personal printer for each of their cubicles, and it would happen before 4:30. The look of relief made my day. I told one of my colleagues to go grab the hard reset set. And I told the other one to grab all the printers from storage he could fit on the cart. For clarification, we have a set of 4 hammers of varying weight we use to destroy hard drives with company data on them. We call them reset hammers. When they both get back, I grab the biggest hammer we had and landed a huge blow on the face of the beast. I pass the hammer, and everyone takes a turn at giving that wretched machine what it deserved. The IT crew turned a blind eye and we set up everyone's personal printers. We kinda forgot that printer murder was going on in the background as we wrapped up our last installation. With a lot of convincing, we got our hammers back. We picked up the frame of that old hellish piece of junk, tossed it in the dumpster, and picked up the rest with a snow shovel. If you ignore the blood and toner on the ground, you may never notice it was missing. On that day, an ancient enemy was defeated, we gained the respect of the accounting department, and nobody missed their deadlines. We reset to 0. I'll give an update when the accounting department manager, who wasn't there on that day, realizes that her favorite piece of office equipment is no more. My monitor keeps flashing on and off and it's driving me crazy, by user _Tori. An administrator hits up our help desk techs, reporting that one of her monitors is constantly flashing on and off and it's really annoying her. Those techs' jobs are to man the help desk, not go on site, so they drop it in my queue. She's not in the C-suite but has a nice office to herself, bigger than my living room, and she's got a standing desk, laptop, 2 big desktop monitors, docking station and a nest of cables hanging under the desk. And she's there pacing on this kind of stubby treadmill, typing away. I'd never seen one of those before, at a standing desk, I mean, but sure enough, the left-hand monitor is regularly flashing on and off. While I'm introducing myself, she steps off the treadmill, and the monitor returns to normal. It stays on the whole time we're chatting. Not a problem client at all, she's polite and glad I'm there but very angry about the state of her computer. I spotted the issue right away and I'd bet 99% of y'all already know what it was. The video cable was caught under the front corner of the treadmill and it was just wiggling it enough to interrupt the connection when she put her weight on the left side. We had a good laugh as I wobbled on the treadmill and demonstrated it for her. It turned into a teachable moment about cable management at our team huddle, so I thought I'd share. Note, those little treadmills are deadly. 0/10, do not recommend. Don't let them have your personal number, by user malicefu. Howdy all. I'm in the middle of transferring jobs at my company from operations to IT support. The downside of this is that everyone I work with has my personal number. Today I got a phone call from a member of the sales team. He is an older gentleman and I think you would get a chuckle out of this SM equals salesman. Me, hello. SM, I heard you're on the IT support team now. Me, not quite yet but in a couple of weeks I. SM, cutting me off good cuz I can't log on. Me, okay what are you trying to log on to? SM, angrily says the point of sales system, what else would I log on to? Me, okay what happens when you try to log on? SM still angry, a box pops up. Me, what does this box say? SM more angry, it doesn't matter just fix it. Me, I gotta know what the box says to help you, you know how computers are. SM said and I quote, something error try again. Me, okay is there a blue bar at the top of your screen that says? SM cutting me off again, I don't know I'm not a tech support guy just fix it. Me, okay I'm gonna have to pass you off to one of my co-workers as I don't have the tools to help you can you submit an ticket with IT? SM, wow there goes the rest of my day. I'm telling IT manager you can't do your job. Click. Side note the IT manager has been assigning me tickets to assess my abilities so he can advocate for pay increases and assign a workflow pattern I can do and figuring out who in the team can help train me best. SM then submitted a ticket that just said can't log on IT manager assigns the ticket to me. Me texting IT manager, SM already called me about this, he can't log on to the POS system and is incredibly resistant to reading or describing the screen, we are going to need someone to remote in to fix it and I don't have that permission set yet. My boss, That explains the random angry email I got that just said my team sucks and is inept. Please pass him off to ex-employee, I'll work on getting you that permission set. Ex-employee then took care of him in 30 seconds. The error box said something along the lines of connection dropped please log on again all he had to do was press the X on the blue bar and log on again. Edited to fix formatting errors. A complex issue that took 3 people and the highest escalation to be solved, by user Vinegar. I'm IT director for a multinational corporation, but I also take care of level 3 tickets. I oversee the ticketing platform myself, check it a couple times a day, to make sure that there are no outstanding requests that techs might be having trouble with, and evaluate the department's performance. We have techs on site at every site, and level 1 requests are generally handled locally, often in the local language. In case of escalation, level 1 techs add notes in English and recap for the level 2/3 to jump in from HQ. For a few days, I've been noticing an outstanding request about having trouble with the snipping tool. The ticket was in German, which I don't speak. After a couple days, the ticket is escalated to level 2, and picked up by someone who happens to speak German, so they went on in that language. After another day or two, the ticket is escalated to level 3, and since we have a few people who were not in that day due to illness or holiday, although I was busy with a network diagram for a new deployment that we need to complete soon, I don't like to see user issues drag along, so I pick up the request. I had already eyed this ticket for some days, the other level 3 was also busy and I didn't want the user to have to wait any longer. The note said, "Snipping tool not working, only takes fixed dimension 7 cm snaps, need to reinstall." Now, that specific user works exclusively on the main RDS farm. They log randomly into one of 20 remote desktop hosts, and nobody else has raised tickets regarding the snipping tool. Also, computers don't think in centimeters, so something's up. The only thing that might be in common is the user's profile, but I can see from the troubleshooting notes that it had already been reset. With much contempt from the user, by the way, they had some files saved that the tech forgot to back up, so I also had to restore the deleted profile from backup. Once the lost files were restored, I jumped into a remote session with the user, with the tech present, since the user isn't very fluent in English. $me, so before I do anything, can you show me the issue? I'm having trouble understanding the exact problem with the translator. $tech, so here you see, we open snipping tool and the screenshot is always 7 cm. He proceeds to take a few, taking a while between attempts as is manually opens shipping tool from the start menu with a text search. $me, so. I don't mean to be condescending, but are you aware that you can take snips with Win plus Shift plus S? $tech, $me, can you press together the Windows key, Shift and S? The screen dims and I take a large snip spanning half the display. $chorus, $tech, so this way works, maybe let me try. Key combination pressed, but again the dragging is cut short. $me, you're on a docked laptop, right? Can you please try to take the screenshot from the trackpad? $tech, but it's closed. $me, yes, just bear with me for a second, open it, press the keys and take a snap using the trackpad. The snap is of course as large as they take it. $me, change the mouse. I'm disconnecting. 5 days, 3 people, a full profile rebuild with backup restore, for a broken mouse. The cherry on top? I got a complaint for making the agent feel undervalued. Apparently they need better documentation and training to troubleshoot local vs remote issues. Will do.